for many, many months now, we have been teaching that May 21 is Judgment Day. And, of course, this last weekend became a very interesting weekend because May 21 came and is gone. And all the dire predictions that had been talked about did not come to pass. And so the first question, suddenly it dawned on me, oh, I see what happened. We were convinced that on May 21, God would return here in a very physical way, that is, by bringing a great earthquake and by ushering in the final 5 months of the Day of Judgment. And the fact is, when we look at it more spiritually, then we find he did come. Great earthquake and rapture and the universe melting in fervent heat will all happen on the last day, October 21, 2011. On the last day, well, that's what we've been saying, is the final day. That agrees with exactly what we're. Because God is a merciful and loving and compassionate God. He will not let anyone suffer hell on earth for 5 months. As we can see, on May 21, 2011, we didn't feel any difference. We didn't see any difference in the world, but we know from the Bible that God brought Judgment Day to bear on the whole world. The whole world is under Judgment Day. And this is and it will continue right up until October 21, 2011, and at that time the whole world will be destroyed. We aren't changing a date at all. We're just learning that we have to be looking at all of this a little bit more spiritual, but it won't be spiritual on October 21 because the Bible clearly teaches that then the world is going to be destroyed altogether, but it'll be very quick. It won't be a 5 months terrible difficulty as we thought it was. That we have learned is we're at that point where we're ready to take a question or two from you if you have a.
Previously to the 21st of May, people have asked you about a spiritual earthquake. And at that time, you were very explicit. You said it will not be a spiritual earthquake. There is no chance whatsoever that it will be a spiritual earthquake. It will be definitely a physical earthquake. How do you reconcile that with what you are saying now?
Well, because you see, when we study the Bible, we don't know everything. The Bible is very complex, right? We said that Judgment Day was going to be here. It is there, but it's not physically at this time. It is spiritual, but Christ has come. It is Judgment Day. We have not been wrong about that.
On October 21st, will you give away all your worldly possessions since you won't need them anymore?
Well, but you see, I get that asked all the time. I don't need I still have to live in a house. I still have to pay my bills. I still have to drive a car. And when Christ comes, whatever I have left, I'm going to leave behind. So why would I get rid of it? I still have to live till the end. The end is 5 months away now. So why would I give it?
About on the day before, would you give all your possessions?
Well, but what would be the value of that? Why would I give it away? Because if it's Judgment Day, it means that it's the end of the world, and so whoever I gave it to, what could they do with it? Is that
you just said that that your next prediction is October 21st, right? Well, many people sold their property for May 21st, and what can they do right now? They're flat broke. What will you take responsibility for that?
Let me explain something. We in Family Radio never tell anyone what they should do with their possessions. That's totally between them and God. And I get people call me sometimes and said, what should I do? I said, please pray about it. I'm not going to give you any advice. And it is true.
Is it fair to the people who have committed to you and who take your word as doctrine, for them to lead their lives in this way and to then take your apologies for misreading the Bible and expectations that perhaps the date will come later? Do you feel any personal responsibility for all of these people who are putting their hopes and their trust in you?
You know, if you have listened at all to Family Radio, I have said it so many times. I am not the authority. I am not the authority. The Bible is the authority. Now, I know there are people who
What
trust their
advice do you give your loyal followers who may have given up everything they have because they took the prediction
We're not
literally?
advising. Please understand. We don't advise anybody what to do with how. We're not in the business of financial
No,
advice.
I'm not saying you told them what to do, but because they did believe that the end of the world was to have been this past Saturday, they gave up all their worldly possessions and their money, and now you have a different interpretation that focuses on the spiritual. So what do you tell those followers who did not understand that, as you did not understand it?
let me answer it this way. We just had a great recession. There are lots of people that lost their jobs. There are lots of people that lost their houses. Lots of people. It's wonderful when we get to a point in our life where a lot of times the best times of our life is when our back is against the wall and we don't know where to go, what to do. And so finally you're pleading with God and pleading with God. Oh, God, have mercy. Have mercy. I don't know what to do. And that can be just the time that you're really being drawn to
How do you feel about
God.
the lady who tried to take her life and her two daughter's life? How do you personally feel about that?
How do you feel about this woman that took her own life?
She tried to take her life and her two daughters' life. Based
Tried
on
to
your
take her
rapport.
life, and remember,
I heard that someplace, that there's a woman who
attempted to do that?
killed her two children. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Did she kill them or attempted to?
I'm sorry?
She attempted to. She did not kill her children.
She took it in the literal.
Oh, she attempted
She
to.
attempted to.
Oh, okay. Oh, my, that makes me feel better, because death is, murdering is terrible. It's contrary to everything the Bible teaches. That would have been a horrible thing if she had done that.
Do you take any responsibility for that?
Mr. Campbell,
Sorry?
do you take any responsibility for that fact?
I don't have any responsibility. I can't be responsibility of anybody's life. I'm only teaching the Bible. I'm not teaching what I believe or that that I'm the authority. I'm simply telling this is what the Bible says. And I don't have spiritual rule over anybody except my wife.
Considering you
Because
intend to return that money now.
Do you intend to return the money?
No, that money is still going out. We still are continuing in business. We're not at the end. Why would we return it? We're not out of business. We've learned now that we still have to go another 5 months. And
Will you return it in October? Do you intend to return the money in October?
Why would we return it? It's
Because
been
of all the-
given in order to get the gospel out. People always come back to money. It was given to get the gospel out, and we're spending it as wisely as possible. And maybe by October 2021, we might only have $10 left.
Will you dissolve the company in October?
I'm sorry?
Will you dissolve the company in October?
Will we dissolve Family Radio in October 21?
If it's the end of the world, God is going to dissolve it. I'm not the CEO. Haven't you heard me say that again and again? I am not the CEO. I'm a servant of God working here, and God is the CEO. We look to Him all the time for guidance. And
Safe to say that the mainstream population that heard about May 21st didn't believe it. It didn't happen. Now they say, see, this was ridiculous, and at best, sort of a misguided prediction, or at worst, some kind of scam. Does it worry you that you have hurt the credibility or made a mockery in some ways of religion?
Oh, no, I don't. Excuse me, just like what I've said before. There's no pastor in the world that that's not the right statement. Most pastors would never admit they make a mistake because they're trying to preserve their own credibility in the eyes of those who are listening, or maybe they insist they're maintaining the credibility of the Bible. But the fact is they're not. They're not. And all I can do is go to the Bible and very humbly say, look, I have done some more study, or somebody has sent me an idea about this verse, and I've checked it out, and I find that I have to make a change in it. That doesn't hurt the credibility of the Bible at all. It just shows.
So why not stop predicting the end? Why not stop?
Now, my dear friends, I'm sorry that we are at the end of our time, and I can't entertain any more questions. I thank you for being so kind to me. You haven't asked me any embarrassing questions at all. If you thought you could try to find one, at least I haven't. I've been grateful for all your questions, and I just hope that you are faithful in reporting honestly, altogether honestly. If you could even do that favor for me, I would be very happy. Good night.